SeeYou with no waypoints in my waypoint and tasks file. The home screen for SeeYou kind of looks like this. This is my waypoint and tasks with no database, no waypoints in it. I can close out of that screen by going to the black X, not the red X, which would terminate the program. The file I've been working on is this Estrella working cup X. Activate it, open it in a new window, OK. And now I've got these waypoints in that file. Click on any one of them, and down here in the lower right hand corner it tells me there's 800 or 1,800 18,581 waypoints. 18,581 waypoints. Way more than what we need. But that was imported for it was US, Mexico, and Canada. Let's go back. I'm going to close this Estrella working file out. And I'm going to go back here to my waypoints and tasks that have nothing in it. And I want to put something in it. It comes already loaded, whatever way you loaded SeeYou. But if I go to Edit, and this little yellow globe, Waypoint Wizard, click on it, and I unselect everything from the country database file that's held within the SeeYou program. And I'm going to highlight or check Canada, Mexico, because I'll be flying in Arizona near the Mexican border. I may want one or two in there. And then US, which is you would think it would be right here. Then I check the US. And just for giggles, I select all of the styles, which include airports with grass runways down to dams and tunnels and castles and road intersections and VORs and NDBs. Very few VORs and NDBs in the database. I can ignore this bounding box. We'll sort it out a little later. Then I push import. It says that there's an Arthur hangar MA is close to Arthur East glider something. Do you want to add it? I'm going to say no to all. Anything that's close by may be duplicates. And now we see the hourglass. It's loading the database. Down here in the lower right hand corner it says loading waypoints. In the upper left hand corner, my waypoints and tasks. Now it says not responding, but my waypoint and task is kind of the default file. There, it just took a while. Waypoints import complete. 1,000 or 18,131 waypoints have been imported. Click OK. And we can see if I click on any one of these in the lower right hand corner, it tells me how many waypoints are in this file that we have open. That's my waypoints and tasks. If I make any changes to this file, when I close out of the program, by hitting the red boxed X. Do you really want to exit SeeYou? Yes. It will save whatever that file was into the program. We'll restart SeeYou. My waypoints and tasks are now view waypoint details is now populated with the ones that we just imported. If I was to do another import, do that same thing again. I've not tried this. I'm going to try it. I'm going to go to Edit, that little yellow globe again. Select the same countries and import. I'm going to end up getting doubles. Something I really don't want is doubles. But that's one way of getting them. Same weight. What do we have? 181,000 or something files. So we should have 360 some. Now this is the one I want to check on. Waypoints is close to, do you want to add it? And I'm going to put no. And I'm going to push no to all. See if we end up with any more duplicates. When you start working with waypoints, especially turn points from the turn point exchange, many of them are very old. The lat longs are not very accurate. And the numbering system sometimes is not even a way that we would entertain with modern flight computers. I think in old times old-time flight computers, the files were stored, or the waypoints were stored by numbers rather than ASCII code. So I think that's why some of them are numbered a little differently. So after saying no to everything, let's see how many we ended up with. I guess it's still working. It's loading waypoints. And it's sorting out right now, trying not to load duplicate files. I would hope, and this is the first time I tried this, I would hope that there would be no duplicates because we've just loaded the same database on top of bring this back up. Now, let's say, for instance, well, let's play by the same rules here. I've highlighted this. I didn't mean to do that. I double-clicked on it. Windows, tile vertically. Maricopa's at the top. Well, I've actually switched these. Didn't know you could do that. So you don't have to use the tile vertically. You can just move them around any place you want. I've had as many as like 6 different files open at a time. Now, this one, we've got Maricopa at the top. This one, Maricopa at the top. So they're pretty much in the same order now. But if I look, a couple of friends of mine have made waypoints local to Estrella. Montezuma's Peak is pretty darn close to Estrella. Surprised it's 12 kilometers, but it is. I could just left click, highlight that waypoint, data point, and slide it over to the other one, and it'll automatically put in to that one. Butterfly Peak, drag it over, drop it. Quartz Peak, drag it over, and drop it. Okay. Now, let's sort this by distance again. And we'll probably have to reorient the file. Bring it up to the top. Okay, so now, what are we at? Montezuma's Peak was at 12 kilometers. Montezuma's Peak over here on the left is now at 12 kilometers. We had a Butterfly Peak, which is 16.9 kilometers. And now we have a Butterfly Peak over at 16.9 kilometers. Quartz Peak, 17.3. We took it from over here, 17.3. So you can slide them back and forth about any way you want. Another way we can do it, I'm going to close out these files. Well, I didn't close them out. I minimized it. I meant to close them out. Do we want to save changes? Yeah, not right now. So the one I was working on was what? I think it was this one. Dave's AZ Waypoints Work-5 and my waypoints and tasks. Easy way. Just highlight it with the left click, or excuse me, drag it. Try it again. Left click, hold it down, drag it to where you want. Do you want to open it in a new window? No, this time I want to add the waypoints, not overwrite, but add the waypoints to my task. Waypoints and tasks. Looks like I might have a duplicate. I'm going to say no to all duplicates. How many did we add? 2663 now. But the ones with descriptions, we drag this description out a little bit, are ones that we added. There really wasn't any descriptions before. So now these are just waypoints that aren't necessarily airports. The descriptions came from the people that put the Turnpoint database together. And once again, I can sort it by distance. I have to bring it up to the top of the file. So those are the ones that we added. Again, I would highly suggest that you save it. Now, the exception to that is if you're working in the file that says My Waypoints and Tasks, that'll be saved as default when you close it. You really want to exit SeeYou? Yeah. Start SeeYou up again. So home screen, I call it. Look at the waypoints. View waypoint details. Click any one. We got 2,663 in there. A little bit what I've learned. Let's say this Maricopa Estrella is not to my liking. I don't like that name. Find it in your file, your database file, and scroll down, or you can arrow down. Begins with B, begins with B. How's that working? Alright. Scroll down to Maricopa BSTGLD. I don't like that name. I'm going to left click it, highlight it with the left click, right click, edit waypoint, and I'm going to change the name to Estrella. Or Estrella, however you guys out there change it. The code that SeeYou gave it was MARC8. I don't know what that means, but Echo 68 is the ICAO airport code for Estrella. Click OK. So now, if I go up here and in my home airport box, push Estrella in there. I should have capitalized it, shouldn't I? And distance, have to bring it back up at the top of the database. Of course, I sorted it wrong. Distance again. Drag it back up to the top. Now Estrella's on top. If I go to View, Map, zoom in a little bit, Estrella's on top, or the name of the airport. If I view task details for this task, I had it started out with that Maricopa ESTGLD. Because I changed it in the database, it changed it in the task as well. So, we're back to where we started from, basically. I'm going to go to map. Looks like I got a bunch of duplicate tasks that I put in. We could straighten those out later, but I hope that gives you a little bit of an overview of what I've learned. Again, my waypoints and tasks is the default file. When I close the program, it'll save it there. But also, to guard against this, I would suggest save as something that you work with. I'm going to call it my keepers. Anything you want, of course. CupX file may not work on all flight computers, but if you save it as cup, it should. I can talk about that later. But we're going to save all of the information, all of the tasks. Click OK, and it's saved. If I click out of the active box with the black X, we're back to the home screen now. There's a lot of stuff you can do in here. It's a very, very powerful program. Well, that's enough for now. Let's see what happens.